Good evening, race fans. Good evening, world. It's your old buddy Marky B here, broadcasting to you live and direct from Soggy, Suzuka in Japan, and it's absolutely pissing down. So, should make for an interesting race. Welcome along to Generation X Racing. It's our Group 3 Championship. Season 9 already, can't believe it's that many, and round 8. So yeah, welcome aboard, thank you for joining. Tonight we have racing Murcielago in his Corvette, because everyone's changed cars since round, I think the last one I did was round 7, so apologies for missing Autopolis last week. I was stuck on the M25, had a meeting overrun, and the whole thing was a shit show, so apologies for that. So we got Murcielago in the Corvette, Johnny Mackers in the Renault, Willie Ham in the Alfa, Dan East in the Porsche, Sherlock in the Supra, which could well be a handful in these conditions, King Racer in the Genesis, we got Splatter in the McLaren. Good choice, Rob. Great car. Kobayashi Maru in the F-Type, which I think that could be a handful as well. And Spivey in the Supra. So, let's just pop you out to track. So you can see what's what. Johnny Mackers is setting the early pace. This is practice, of course. In the meantime, while the guys are warming up, I'll just run through the table for you so far. So after round 7, well done, Marky, you can count. Dan East is leading the way by some margin on a total of 496. We've got Sherlock on 328. We have Willie Ham on 322, Murcielago on 236, Johnny Mackers on 216, King Racer on 215, that's close, Kobayashi Maru on 168, Big Easy on 116, not racing tonight unfortunately. I think he's still suffering with his toe, which he dropped a steel plate on. Spivey on 108. Good to see you back, mate. Splatter on 87. Who else is racing? Who we got? I think that's about it for the lineup this evening. So let's see how everyone's getting on with the conditions. So unsurprisingly, it looks like everyone's on full wets. Yeah, let's have a look at Willie. How he's going to look. Willie's gone top so far. We've got probably 3 or 4 minutes left of practice, and then we'll be moving into quali. So chat is open, so please do hurl abuse or send intelligent comments through, whichever you prefer. I really don't mind. I applaud both. And if someone could say, yes, Marky, we can hear you, that'd be great. So we're in, so it's the R08 conditions tonight, which I think is monsoon conditions. So should be fun. Should be fun. I've tried to move my microphone slightly further away from my mouth so you don't hear every breath I take. But I will be using the mute button where possible to negate that. That's Willie. Willie seems to be obviously coping well with the conditions. Haven't driven the Alpha, so can't really provide any intelligent comment as to the car. If I can provide intelligent comment on anything, really. Let's have a look at Johnny. He's just gone past Spivey. So he's a 0.04 behind, so there's not an awful lot in that. Dan and his familiar livery. in the Porsche. I don't think there are any four-wheel drive cars in Group 3, so no one should have a clear advantage, apart from those with lower torque through the back wheels. I assume traction control will be applied at quite some level. I see Dan's just nearly gone off there. So I think it's safe to say the last thing you want is dirty tyres on a track which is this moist. So sheer luck, he was just behind Dan at the moment in the Supra. I mean, that Supra is quick as hell in a straight line, but it chucks its back end out like no one's business. So Chris is going to have to be very careful on the accelerator coming out of corners. King Racer in the Genesis, which also I think is also a bit twitchy. That's a lovely livery, mate. Nicely done. Splatter in the McLaren. It's familiar. I think that's orange and black, but apologies if it's not. I won't bang on about me being colourblind again. You should all know by now. But yeah, nice job, Rob. Spivey in the Supra, an M&M Supra, fantastic. And Kobayashi Maru and Murcielago have either had enough or are just waiting for qualifying to start. So, due to the lack of comments as to whether you can hear me or not, I'm just going to double check YouTube to make sure I'm coming through okay. Excellent, well that seems to be working. So this is going to be... I think this evening could well be filled with lots of spins, nudges and after-race apologies when braking points are missed. So here we go, we're into qualifying. Who's going to go out first? So who we got out front? Is that Johnny out front in the Renault? I believe it is. Yeah. So I use this term very lightly, but Johnny's trying to warm his tyres up. I think this is the first time we've had the Renault, well certainly this season, and for quite some time. I seem to remember Justin used it, Kobayashi Maru used it a few seasons back. But this will be interesting, as it's a completely unknown quantity for me. I've only driven it once, I think, which is in one of the circuit experiences, so because I had to. So yeah, let's see how he gets on. Whoa! Got a bit squirrely through there, and oh dearie me! Right, so he needs to clean his tyres, scrub his tyres off coming down the main straight, which doesn't have a name. In fact, some of the names on this track are absolutely abysmal. I almost thought of renaming them, but in deference to the track, I did not. So he's coming into 130R, which, fact fans, is called 130R because if you use the curve of the corner as part of a circle, it would have a radius of 130 meters. There you go. I'm sure you're all absolutely riveted by that fact. Right, so we're going to go on board with Johnny through his first flying lap. No pressure, Johnny. Into the imaginatively titled first curve. Again, they must have been up all night thinking of that. And through into the S's, which I seem to think were sort of called the center S's, but I couldn't find any firm information on that. Okay, so no one right behind Johnny. So these are going to be an absolute nightmare, these S in rear-wheel drive cars with a lot of power and lots of standing water on the track by the look of it. Do the Dunlop curve. And down into the Degnas. That's Degna 1 right here. And into Degna 2. We come racing down this bit of track of right-hand corner into the hairpin, which was kind of monikered Kobayashi's hairpin, not after our illustrious leader Justin Kobayashi Maru, but because Kamui Kobayashi apparently did some absolutely outlandish overtakes at that spot in, I think it was the 2010 Japanese Grand Prix. And into Spoon Curve, which is an absolute nightmare to get right in the dry, so God knows what it's like in the wet. Nicely through there, Johnny. And into 130R. Usually go flying there, nearly full out. Hi Viney, good evening. Chat's open everyone, by the way, so if you want to make some comments, as I said earlier, please do join in. And into the Casio Triangle, which they just about get away with in my book, because if you draw a line between that curve and the first curve of the chicane, you just about get a triangle, so I'll kind of let them have that one. So 227. Murcielago at 228.6. Sherlock coming across the line in a 227.7. Willie Ham, sorry Willie, missed you there. Oh, so Willie jumped up to second. Well, he didn't jump up to second, he's gone second with a bit of drifting round the first curve. God. Justin with a 231, Splatter with a 238, Spivey with a 235, is that? 235.4, well done Spivey. So Dan was clearly sandbagging in practice, as usual. Let's see if we can get a time check. So he's down slightly. He's up, sorry, he's into the hairpin, nicely done. So funny seeing the cars not going flat out where you're used to them seeing them go flat out. He was only 0.2 down on his lap, so in these conditions, I imagine it's pretty easy to make it up, but well done, Marky B. Great call again. 1.1 down. Oh, that looked quite quick through there from Willie. Braking really early for the Casio triangle. Changing up nice and early to get the traction. So that was Willie's best lap. Hang on, Johnny's just gone fastest. Let's try and find Johnny. Bertolago not loving the wet conditions. So Johnny's into the pits, so I couldn't find him. Woody's going to have to watch himself. Thank you, Johnny, for the hello. Good evening, sir. Spivey's just set a best of 2:33. Excellent stuff. Suzuka is sheer luck. Series managing the monstrous power of the Supra in these wet conditions. Oh, blimey, that looks tricky. Oh, wow. So he's letting Willie through, I think. Yeah. Can't see if he's got any sort of traction control on. I would bloody hope so. So it's monstrously powerful, the Supra, but it's just getting it down in these conditions is going to be tough. Yeah, nicely done through there, Chris. King Race is just behind, about half a second, but as I say, it's easily made up. You just need to nail a lap, and you probably 1 or 2 seconds up on your best time. Ooh, slow car ahead. Feathering the throttle until he's in a straight line. I'm so glad I'm not racing tonight. We did a Group 4 race at Nürburgring at the same conditions a couple of weeks ago, and the only reason I contemplated doing it was because I was in the Lamborghini, which is four-wheel drive, and had a significant advantage over everyone bar the Veyrons. But due to a stupid mistake at turn 1 and 2, and then steering wheel malfunction, I ended up 4th. But all good fun. Let's have a look back at King Racer Bertolago. Here's another car you don't want to be driving in the... wow, he's revving the absolute nuts out of this. Go on, Bertolago. As I say, probably the most entertaining driver we have. Balls out the entire way around, no matter the conditions. Fantastic stuff. Keep it up, mate. Back to Justin in the F-Type Jaguar. quite a heavy car, the F-Type, which isn't going to help in these conditions. Back to splatter in the McLaren, which is my favourite Group 3 car of the minute. Never tried it in this muck though, so we've got about 3 minutes left, so probably some guys will have 2 flying laps left. Johnny seems to be resting on his laurels. Right, that's the best lap I've done. And let's have a look how far he is ahead. So he's nearly a second ahead of everyone else. Good work, Johnny. Not surprised you're keeping your powder dry-ish and sticking in the pits. But let's see if Dan's making any progress. Yeah, that's not going to help. Sliding all over the place, blimey. Okay, let's see how Willie's getting on. Nice to see there from Willie. Now if he can get the toe down the straight, and the other guys get out of his way, being that they're not on a hugely hot lap, this may fall to Will's advantage, although I suspect Dan, given he's only 0.08 of a second ahead of Will, may not move over. Yeah, so Dan East, our leader in the championship, is the Barry Scott of electrical contact cleaner. He's managed to flog 2 cans of it this week on Discord alone. So we've got the guys coming in. So did Dan make it through for another fast lap? Okay, Willie looks like he's done. So we've just gone over the 15-minute qualifying. Yeah, I think Dan looks like he's done. His hazards are on. Everyone. So Willie, who you've got left? Got King Racer, who's currently on a 2:27. He's not going to better that. Murcielago has finished. Justin's donutting and wreaking absolute havoc on the track. Right, so that's quali done. Oh, and we're going into night time as well. Fantastic. That's going to help. That's a great lap from Johnny. Well done, mate. Well done. 2:25.07. That's, you don't often see Dan beaten by nearly a second. That's a fantastic lap. What's he? Sorry, I'm just trying to remember what he's driving. Yes, the Renault, of course. Looks like a good shout at the moment, Johnny. Good stuff. So that's our starting grid. We've got Johnny in the Renault, P2, Dan in the Porsche, Willie in the Alpha, King Racer, great lap there, mate, in the Genesis, Shearluck in the Supra, Murcielago in the Corvette, Splatter in the McLaren, Kobayashi Maru in the F-Type, and Spivey in the Supra. Right, so we're just waiting for the lap to start. The race to start, should I say. 28 laps. This could take some time. I think this may be our longest race of the season. In terms of not distance, but because it's all about 100 miles, but in terms of longevity. So, I don't think there's going to be much sort of querying about strategy. It's bung on full wet and try and stay on the track. Yeah, not much more to say about that, really. Oh, Splatter's got a 2:29. Well done, mate. Which jumps him up to 7th. Excellent stuff. Sorry, Splatter, I missed it. You were still on track. I do apologise. So there you go. Yeah, just as I said, that's the starting grid. So the times are pretty well spread out. Apart from Sheerluck and Murcielago, very close. Yep. So anyone's guess how this is going to turn out, frankly. Yeah, Murcielago just saying it's depressing. They think the Corvette was really is going to be the right car for this. I think mid-engine cars are probably going to do better. So yeah, you got the Renault. I assume they're mid-engine. You got the Renault, the Porsche, the Alpha, Genesis. Maybe that's an FR. So front-engined. Right. Okay. Let's get to the start. I literally can't wait for this. And they're off. It's which was the slowest Group 3 start I've ever seen in my life. Johnny, is Dan taking the lead? He is. Up the inside of Johnny. But I think, is that Will's gone wide there? King Racer's up to 3rd. Yeah, Johnny seems keen to have his lead back, the P1 back as soon as possible. He's going around the outside of oh, a little bit of bumper kissing there. How cute. Dan's gone through. Can Johnny cut back? No, Dan's really taken a defensive line through there. There's no way Johnny was getting past. So got Murcielago again has jumped from 6th or 7th, wherever he was, up to 4th. Splatter's up to 5th. Willie, yeah, so it was Willie that went off. He's down into 8th. And Sheerluck 7th. Mayhem, ladies and gentlemen. Mayhem, I tell you. It'd be interesting to see. I didn't really see where Johnny was making up the time. Whether that was general quarters or in a straight line. So Dan certainly seems to have the bit between his teeth. Going through Spoon. Spoon! Just wonder on bumper cam if you can actually see where you're going. Yeah, there's loads of spray, so that's going to make it difficult for the guys behind. Oh, Dad's totally gone sideways there. Johnny's got to go past, surely. Murcielago's taking an interesting line through the Casio triangle. So let's just see if Johnny can do anything coming down the straight. and then we'll drop back and see how everyone else is getting on. So these two seem to have pulled away. They've got 3.5 seconds between P2 and P3, and King Race has just gone past Murcielago. Okay, no he couldn't, so let's have a look. Well, it seems to be a bit of a ding-dong going on between Murcielago and King Racer right now. This would be great for commentary, boys, if you could just separate yourselves into 4 battles of 2 cars, then we can just flip backwards and forwards. Make my life a lot easier. Into the Degners, down towards Spoon. See how Sherlock's getting on. Couple of seconds back. Splatter's just gone slightly wide. Look at that rain coming down. Wow. I did try and look up the Japanese word for monsoon, because these are the types of conditions, and actually it's essentially monsoon. Clearly where the word comes from, so rather disappointing. I was going to do my best Japanese impression. Oh, he's gone off there. So Spivey. Willie's trying to make some progress behind Kobayashi Maru. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, there we go. Into 130. Oh, Justin's gone wide there. He's going to get a penalty for that. A little bit of touching, but I don't think you really blame anyone for that. The cars are all over the shop. Okay, so yeah, Willie's definitely got the best exit there and goes up into 6th. Nice move, sir. And let's just remind Justin at this point that he does pick the tracks and weather conditions. Oh dear. I'm sure he's having the time of his life. So Spivey's about 10 back. Splatter's right on the chuff of Spivey. Just say, shame I can't see what everyone's traction controls on. I'm sure there must be a lot in play. Hello. Going through the S's. Rob's on his fastest lap at the moment. Oh my god, that's terrible. Oh, hard luck, Rob. Nothing for you to do there. Let's put that back up to the front, see how Dan's getting on. So he's pulled out a 1.4. I mean, the times are going up and down like a. Let's try and use a more politically correct. A violinist's elbow. There we go. Not the original analogy I was going to use. Anyway, so it's under a second. There was a second and a half, a minute, just 10 seconds ago, and now it's all over the shop. So just have to keep an eye on that. Johnny, so these two are really 5 seconds ahead of King Racer and Murcielago's. Sorry about the fanning around with camera angles. So there's Murcielago's fastest lap. Well done. King Racer seems to be pulling away a bit. I guess it was on the exit kill. He's gone a bit wide there. I think Murcielago uses a controller rather than the steering wheel, so that might be to his advantage in these conditions, because you seem to be able to correct slides better on a controller than you can on the steering wheel. Just flicking your thumb to the left or right rather than having to turn the entire wheel. So we'll see how that one, see if that gives him an advantage. But this is like a good tussle. I think the cars are all over the shop. I think if the drivers are, hoping for a dry line to appear, they're going to be sorely disappointed as Murcielago goes wide through Degner 1. He's got filthy tyres now. As we come down to the hairpin. Yeah, braking nice and early. Good lad. Is he using any traction control at all? Doesn't look like it. Foot down, the wheels light up. Boom. In the meantime, Sherlock has pulled in about 1.5 seconds on the two in front of him. That's nicely through the first part of Spoon there. Yeah, that's beautiful, Chris. Well done. He's got Willie Ham approaching from the rear in the Alpha, which I think I saw Tidney's car profile. It looks like quite a decent car. I don't know why I haven't bothered trying it, but it certainly seems to have the better of the Supra at the moment in the wet conditions. Yeah, look at that, he's going to go past him here. Yeah, great exit there, Will. Good stuff, and up to 5th. He started in 3rd, had a bit of a rickets at the first 2 corners, dropped back to virtually last, and is now back up to 5th, so that's great stuff from Will. Well done, mate. And is now trying to get up the chuff of Murcielago. Yeah, the wide through there, but we'll forgive you. Okay, let's get back up the front, see how that's going. So, yeah, still nothing between these two. One little mistake and from Dan, and Johnny's going to go hurling through. So, look. Well, he's dropping back a little bit, although currently on his, I think that's his fastest lap. As I said before, viewer, the whole purple, mauve, maroon thing is a complete mystery to me. So if that was purple, great, well done, Johnny. They're 2.5 back. That really seems to be dialed in now into these conditions. So Johnny's the fuel saving king. I wonder how he's doing. So he's doing slightly better on fuel than Dan, which will mean less seconds in the pits. Is it 3 though? That's the thing. King Racers 2 ahead of Murcielago. Okay, let's stick with Willie. He seems to be the man on the move at the moment. Murcielago goes absolutely sideways through 130R, which is very impressive, but not quick. There's me sounding like I know what I'm talking about. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Those who can do, those who can't commentate. Murcielago's drifted a bit wide there. Willie's got a great line. This is a nightmare of a place to try and overtake through the S's. He's positioning himself for a move, maybe into the hairpin. Yes, so much time not on the accelerator in these conditions. Yeah, just let the old girl roll through the corners. Oh God, I'll say it again. I'm so glad I'm not racing tonight. Woo! So now Cam will get the run down to Spoon. Okay, hold on to your hats, guys. Oh, okay. Murcielago, yeah, slid wide there, so Willie goes up into fourth. Good work, Willie. And now has King Racer in his sights. So Murcielago picking up the slip. Beautifully done. Did Murcielago do? Okay, I don't think he's close enough to make a move into the Casio triangle. Maybe down the fast start-finish straight if he gets a good exit. Oh, brilliant, Murcielago. That Corvette's back end is switching all over the place. Excellent stuff. Oh, Willie got that a little bit wrong, but that's worked out nicely, so he should get a good kick on down towards the S's. Willie, so is he putting? Yeah, he's putting in a bit of time on King Racer. Good work. Let's have a. Dan's got that a bit wrong. He's nearly 5 seconds ahead now. He is 5 seconds ahead. That's nicely done through there, Dan. So back to 4 seconds. So it's hard to take your eyes off it because the times are fluctuating so much. Oh, he's drifting around there. That's, I suspect is not going to help his lead. So let's have a look. Johnny's not quite close enough, but these two have pulled quite a distance. Let's see how everyone's doing on fuel. So so Murcielago's losing the fuel race so far. Splatter's doing beautifully, nearly half a tank left. Ooh, Spivey having a bit of a moment there. And well, through the Degners, as is Splatter. So Rob's winning the fuel race, I think, at the moment. So yeah, Dan was 5 seconds ahead, is now building his way back up towards 4. And has the fastest lap of the evening so far with a 2:26.1. not allowing for rounding up, of course. But that's actually, in these conditions, that's pretty consistent stuff. Bar the 226.1, he's at a 226.2. Yeah, that's yeah, I think there'd be if I was on track, ladies and gentlemen, there'd be about 5 seconds, a 5-second gap between my fastest lap and slowest. So you're barely one between Dan's, so that's great stuff. But Johnny is making some headway now, just down to just under 3. Okay, let's see how Will's getting on. So he's only 1 second behind King Racer now. Going through the Degners. That one a little bit wrong, but really made some progress. Murcielago seems to be pulling his way back in again to the rear of Will. Did Will get a good enough exit? He looks quicker, he looks quicker. Is he going to be able to do something through Spoon? It's probably overly optimistic to expect an overtake there. Okay, let's see if he can do anything down the main straight. The Genesis is ridiculously fast in a straight line. There is water flying all over the shop. Really have no idea where the best place to overtake is around this track in these conditions. It's do you just stay patient and wait for the other guy to make a mistake? It's nicely done for King Racer there. I thought he'd gone a bit wide, but nicely held. Oh, is Will going to get her? No. Going through the Dunlop curve. A little bit early on the gas there. He had to lift. Alright, let's pop back to see how... Okay. Oh, blimey, this is it's not the most riveting race so far, but it's really interesting to see the cars all over the bloody shop. It's this is probably about as tough as it gets, really. Yeah, there. Oh, blimey. Look at splatter. You just need to keep off the curbs and the AstroTurf. That is key. And the grass. I feel a bit mean trying to give out the golden lawnmower and golden spray can tonight, given the conditions. So I think whoever wins will be given the golden sponge. Oh, watch yourself, Rob. Spivey's 5 back. Treacherous conditions. Murcielago's gone into the pits. I don't know, let's have a look. Can he fuel to the end from there? Not sure if that's fuel to the end or not. Or if he's going to have to stop again. I'm guessing probably not. So that's a 2-stopper for Murcielago. So Schiller's getting on. And his lonely race in no man's land. Yeah, I think the key thing for these conditions is trying to brake and accelerate in a straight line. We've actually got no chance. Get those front wheels straightened up as soon as you can and boot it. Nine back from King Racer. Series getting on. So okay, so Willie hasn't managed to drop him yet, so this is good stuff from King Racer. Struggling to get any power down at all in that Genesis. But when he does, it flies. And Kobayashi Maru is into the pits. So while we're watching King Racer try to catch up with Willie, I'd like to say hello to my normal commentating partner, Mr. Spiffy G. Greg, who's out in Texas, having just hopefully recovering well from shoulder surgery, the second op in a month. Hello mate, hope you're listening. If not live, then on catch up. I hope the recuperation's going well, and please come back soon as you're able. Be good to see and hear you, mate. Good stuff. Okay, so let's see if Johnny's making any headway. So let's have a look. There's not an awful lot of difference in fuel left, but it will be a second or so. Oh no, Johnny's just gone onto the AstroTurf, which isn't the best place to be. What was that? F in the chat for Murcielago? Excuse me? Dan's put it at a 2:25.9, which is an impressive lap. So Willie is at Johnny's pit stop. Right, okay, so this looks like it's a two-stop race for fuel, if nothing else. Johnny has just... See how Dan's getting on his... Yeah. Is he trying to get around to 14 or 13 maybe, because they started on a 75% fuel load? Or maybe Johnny is one stopping. Time will tell. Nicely through Spoon. So Willie's fastest lap is a 2:26.5, which was quite early on. So hang on, Dan, I would have thought Dan's probably... Is he stopping? Nope, he is not. Looks like Will might need to. Yes, indeed, Videy, he has. Quite right saying. Quite right too. Okay, so Willie's staying out for another lap. King races into the pits just in the nick of time by the look of it. Oh God, my foot's gone to sleep. That's uncomfortable. Let's go back to Shearluck, who is thought about coming in the pits, or his car did at least, but he's going on down the straight. King Racer in the pits. Is he? I assume fueling to the end. Need to look back at the comments to see what Michelage was banging on about. Just 3 seconds ahead of King Racer now. 17 behind Shearluck, although Shearluck is yet to pit, I believe. So will Shearluck need to pit? Yes, he does. Johnny has pitted, Willie hasn't. Let's see, is Dan gonna pit or is he gonna... Well, we'll soon find out. Casio triangle coming up. Pit entrance is on the right. No, he's going for another one. I'd have thought this must be his last one, so he's obviously trying to minimise his time in the pits in terms of the fuel he's taking on board. See if Willie blinks and goes into the pits. Yes, he does. Okay, so go back to Johnny. He's just coming around the final curve. So we'll retake second place. The interesting thing will be to see if Shearluck can do likewise. No, he's coming into the pits as well. So let's see where that leaves Murcielago after all this shenanigans has finished. I don't believe I have seen anyone driving this aggressively in the wet before. It's quite impressive. Quite impressive. Braking later than anyone else. Revving the absolute nuts out of that Corvette, which must be a nightmare to handle in these conditions. We got King Racer right up his chuff now. That's interesting because King Racer's got loads more fuel than Murcielago. So does Murcielago have to stop again? So let's then look back at Splatter. He's just going through the first curve, still not stopped but doing nicely on his fuel, so he's probably got a few more laps to run. Kobayashi Maru has stopped, and looks like we've lost Spivey. I'd love me. I don't blame you, frankly. So Dan is finally into the pits. Let's see where Johnny comes out behind him. Dan is fueling, stop fueling, so he'll be leaving the pits now. Just wait for the time to normalise. Under 10 seconds. You can just see his headlights up in the distance. Yes, I think Murcielago must have to stop again. Unless he was to employ some mega fuel saving, which necessarily sits well with him. King Racer, Murcielago's gone wide. Oh, King Racer nearly did. Well, the look of it, these two are going to be battling right up until the finish, although I'm not sure. Looking at King Racer's fuel load, and when Murcielago stops, I think he's going to need to stop again, but you know, we will see. We will see. I think these are both fast cars in the dry, so I think in the straight line speed point of view, I don't know who's got the advantage, but in the wet they're both twitchy as hell. Being, I think, front-engined rear-wheel drive cars, so there's no weight over the rear wheels to enable grip apart from the spoiler. It doesn't particularly work at low speeds, so nothing going on there. Okay, looks like Murcielago got the better exit out of Spoon. Well, look at how fast that Genesis is. Wow, good stuff. See how Shearer's getting on. The loneliest racer on the track. Has been, frankly, all night since he had a bit of a nightmare at the start. Chrissy No Mates, I think we will baptise him. Keep it going, Chris. Good stuff. Splatter still hasn't pitted, but must be pitting this lap. He's gone over half race distance on 75% tank of fuel, so he shouldn't be having to put a hell of a lot in, which could improve his position somewhat. So he's 12 ahead of Justin. Left tyres on the grass, therefore taking it rather gingerly through the Casio triangle, but now with gravel logged in his lodged in his tyre grooves. Yes, more gingerly than previously. So Justin goes through into 7th. And nicely through first curve. Oh, that really is a terrible name. If I commentate on Suzuka again, I'm going to rename all the corners. It's awful. Apart from the Degners, probably. Maintaining about 18 seconds over Rob, who has now stopped just over half a tank to take him to the end of the race. Dan is on his merry way, 11.5 seconds up. Still that fastest lap, 2:25.981, which is bloody impressive. I think that's only just slower than Johnny's quali time. Dan using the golden rule, do not accelerate whilst on the AstroTurf. Back at Johnny in the Renault. That was nicely through there. Probably the smoothest line we've seen through there all evening. Well done, Johnny. Commentator's curse, you're welcome. Looking good for second at the moment. Will with his right wheels on the AstroTurf there. Had to just coast completely through that corner. So we got Dan in first, who's 12 seconds, or 12 3/4 seconds ahead of Johnny, who's nearly 20 seconds ahead of Willie, who's 22 ahead of Murcielago, who I'm not convinced doesn't have to stop again. Now, I don't know if he viewers, if you're probably watching, you probably know all about this, but there's a sort of a wetness indicator, which if you look to the bottom left of the screen is just to the right of the race time. How the hell that thing's not straight up to the top, I've got no idea. I'm not quite sure how much wetter it could be. Maybe racing underwater or something, that might help. You've got King Racer, who's pulling in on Murcielago. I think he was 1.8, 1.5, 1.8 behind last time we caught up. So well done, mate. Keep it going. You're the only race on track at the moment. So please. I'll check back and see how everyone else is doing, but then I'll come straight back to you guys. So Shillock's 11 behind. Seem to be making progress in the twitchy ass Supra. He's nearly a minute ahead of Kobayashi Maru. Who's 15 ahead of Splatter. He's got 130R, or was that 130R? Yeah. Got that all wrong, but didn't do anything to really muck up his lap. Just foot off the gas, got it back on track. Good stuff, Rob. That's the way to do it. So 15 seconds. Okay, so Dan's must be coming up behind Splatter. Watch out, Rob. No doubt the early blue flags are already out. So I think Rob is probably concentrating far too hard on where to let Dan through and has just binned it going through the S's. So where's Johnny? Okay. 13.5 seconds back. Willie 21 seconds back. There's Oak. I was right. Murcielago's into the pits again to refuel for the last stage of the race. Putting King Racer up into 4th. And Shearluck up into 5th. Okay, so King Racer just went off through Deck 1, easily done, but is back on track. Doesn't seem to have lost a huge amount of time. Maybe a second or two, but all in all not bad. So let's see, Murcielago, who's I think the only guy who's 2 stopped. He's got an absolute ton of fuel again. Now we know Corvette is not, the Corvette V8 isn't known for its, well I think it's a V8, not known for its fuel efficiency. But he's absolutely tearing it out of Shearluck at the moment. So who knows? Maybe it was a genius move. Although he's going to have to... He's got his penalty to serve, which is coming up now. Which is going to drop him back. Let's have a look. Well, whatever he lost in the penalty, he's made up pretty damn sharpish, so that is quite extraordinary. How the bloody hell he's keeping that thing in a straight line, revving like that is beyond me. But congratulations. Right, where was the race? Is it not? No. Oh, there we go. Oh! Okay, no, so I got excited there. I thought Dan had binned it or something, and Johnny was coming up, and Rob goes wide, as does Johnny. Rob, you're being too nice. Stop giving so much thought to everybody else. Keep it on the track, mate. Keep it on the track. Right, so... Alright, hang on. So, hang on. Let's have a look. Yeah, the only race we have on the track really at the moment is, and you know, it is absolutely to be expected given these hideous conditions which Justin has dumped us in this evening. Well, sort of dumped us in. I'm sitting in my centrally heated lounge with a nice glass of wine. These poor sods in the pissing rain in Suzuka were the ones I was referring to. So yeah, so this will just stick with this for a bit, I think. Just keeping an eye on the track map, see if anything else is going on. Ooh. So I think driving, accelerating this fast in these conditions is sort of feast or famine. You either get it completely right and it goes well, or you make a complete pig's ear of it and off he goes. So, as I say, how he's keeping it on track, accelerating like that is frankly beyond me in that car. Which I can't drive in the dry. So, looks like when he's spinning the wheels up, the traction control may be not deployed this evening. But right up the clacker of sheer luck now. Just looking for a good place to overtake. Remember, it's wet, gents. Whoa, Christ alive, that was close. Whoa, he's got, wow. Oh, is he going to stop in time? No, he's not. Oh dear. Okay, well, that was a bold move, but I think hindsight will say that probably wasn't the best place to try and overtake, given how close you were. But I applaud you for your efforts, sir. Okay, let's just pop back up. Sorry about the scrolling, chaps. Dan is now 16 ahead. Yeah, Johnny, I don't know if you're listening, but if you could deploy that anti-gravity drive that you were using at Brands Hatch, that should reduce the reliance on tyres in these wet conditions and make a race of it up front. It would be nice for once to say Dan East hasn't won. Give it a good go, mate. So Dan is 16 seconds ahead of Johnny, who is 19 3/4 ahead of Willie, who's 37 ahead of King Racer, who is 16 ahead of Sherlock. I was thinking, is that reducing? So Sherlock's, yeah. So we've got 6 laps after this one. Didn't have to count on my fingers this time. Murcielago again. Driving his Corvette like he stole it. Is 8 back? Were you thinking of going into the pits there, Justin, and then change your mind? Oh God, I hate it when the conditions are like this. It's great for commentating, well, apart from the lack of on-track battles, but that's absolutely to be expected. And Rob in the McLaren. Nicely through there, Rob. Yeah, I think Rob had a couple of offs in that lap due to worrying too much about letting people through. I think in these conditions, you know, it's up to them to find a place to pass. Frankly, you got to concentrate on keeping your car on track, but I applaud you for that, sir. So Dan on his merry way. 5.5 laps to go. It's all about Murcielago, but Dan seems to be driving very close to the raggedy edge as well. That's lovely through there, Dan. Good stuff. I think he's improved his, yeah, he has improved on his best lap, 2:25.7. So who knows, can he get into the 2:24s with his reducing fuel load? Johnny looks to be closing on a back marker, and that's Dan. Oh, that's Justin. Kobayashi Maru, a bit of a moment through first curve. Willie's dropped to 21 seconds back. But it looks like a decent car, that Alpha. I might have to give it a go. So Murcielago's pretty much where we left him, 7-8 seconds back. So whilst there's little in the way of racing action going on, as you can probably see from my PSN name, I haven't changed it to GXR underscore something as yet. I've been trying to think of something dazzling, but at the moment I'm just going to go with GXR underscore Marky B, unless anyone else has some fabulous ideas. I think it's a total of 16 characters I'm allowed. I think Justin was going to suggest Contagious because of the amount of time it's taken me to try and decide. Think about that one to yourselves. But if anyone has any wonderful ideas, and please do abstain from profanity if you're able. I'm all ears, frankly, because I need to change it. I'm hoping this is the last time I'm going to have to change it, because of the league changing a few times over the past couple of years. I've changed it a few times. When it was Darwin Racing Evolution, it was DRE Marky B, which I thought had a nice ring to it. But we've rebranded a couple of times since then, so I'm still on the Multi-21 moniker, the M21 underscore Marky B. If anyone has any ideas, please do let me know. I may ignore them, but hey, if you come up with a zinger, I will give you a special mention on the next broadcast. I can only imagine how thrilled you would be at that. So anyway, enough of that. Murcielago's seems to be pulling in. It's got 4 laps after this one. Let's see how King Race is doing. So King Race is doing nicely in 4th, 45 behind Will, 12 ahead of Sherlock. He seems to have maintained that quite well, so good working, racer. Sherlock coming down the start-finish straight, which is probably called first straight or something. Got his brake late there. Christ alive, well done. In fact, that was brilliant, Chris. Good work, my friend. Still 5 and a bit ahead of Murcielago. Whoa, no, oh, blimey. How the hell did he keep that straight? He had his rear right on the grass there. I thought that equaled spin, frankly. Sort of closing in on Sherlock and then sort of dropping back a bit further. But again, to be accepted in these conditions. I have no idea. I know I've been banging on about it all night. I have no idea how he's keeping it in a straight line. I wonder if he drifts. I wonder if that's what he does. It's under 5 now. I need to try and decipher his earlier message in chat. and then give him a bollocking if he was having a go. Yeah, wow. If you were going to describe Raggedy Edge, I think you'd just put a picture of Murcielago in his Corvette. Back to Justin. And Splatter. I applaud you for your fortitude in keeping going, mate. I really do. Group 3 in the pissing rain is the most miserable of combinations. Nicely through there though, Rob. Good stuff. Back up to Dan, who's now 31.5 seconds ahead. Come on, Dan, with that lightning fuel load. We want a 24. We want a 24. You've only got to improve by 0.8 of a second. So I think our viewer numbers might be slightly down this week because my mum and her friends are painting China or something equally as tedious. So yeah, I'll have to bear that in mind, Mum, when Mother's Day comes around and your birthday. You know, I'll make you something. That'll teach you. So the top 3 have sort of stabilised. King Racers 11 ahead of Sheerluck. Murcielago's desperately trying to get on the backside of Sheerluck, but sort of he was 4 seconds, is now 3 and a bit with 2 laps to go after this one, which is just going to finish now. So I guess my advice, Chris, keep it on the track. You'll probably be okay. If one is allowed to give advice, which I'm not. Although Chris probably isn't listening, so I wasn't giving advice at all. It's like that thing, if a tree falls over in a wood and no one's there, does it make a sound? I'm very much that tree falling over in a wood at the moment. Whoa. Yeah, that's what I said about keeping it on track, Chris. Right, okay, so I think they've got a back marker coming up. Have they? Where's... No, they haven't. Okay, we'll just focus on the racing then. I don't know how that dry line's staying dry so long. I'd have thought the water would just slosh back over it immediately as soon as the tyres gone. Like, wow! That was... Here comes Murcielago. I mean, that's impressive. How he's kept that on track is frankly beyond me. I thought, you know, if you did that, you put 2 tyres on. Oh, is he overshot it again? Yeah, but yeah, you're definitely on a controller, because that front end's switching around like I don't know what. It's almost giving me motion sickness looking at it. But that's what you can do when you're not on a steering wheel, I guess. So final lap. Can Murcielago keep it on track for the remainder of the lap and take what looked like an unlikely fit? Christ almighty, Dan, I do apologise, I missed you again. I didn't realise I was that far ahead. So there's our winner, ladies and gentlemen, Dan East, well done. Johnny Macker's coming through 130R. Second place to Johnny, well done. So Willie's just coming into the Casio triangle sideways. Well done, well done. So yeah, King Race has got a while, so let's see, okay. Kobayashi Maru has finished a lap down. Rob's just going to do the same, I think. Well done, guys, for finishing and your efforts this evening. Your fortitude is well appreciated and frankly respected. There's absolutely no way I would have finished this race. Unless I was in a hovercraft or something. What's happened to Sheila? Oh no, he's run out of fuel! Oh no, well, okay, Kobayashi Maru can't overtake you because he's finished. So, Chris. Right, so we're foregoing the golden sponge, the golden spray can and the golden lawnmower this evening as Murcielago comes home in 5th, and we're going to give Chris the golden petrol can. For running out of fuel. Brilliant. Good stuff. There it is. 50 miles an hour. I had to do a whole lap of that at Road Atlanta in a Group 4 car. It took bloody ages. Well done, Chris. Congratulations on your 6th. And the golden petrol can. Right. So everyone's got a 1-minute penalty because I think the room settings were probably wrong for tyre conditions and whatnot. But well done all. As I said, your perseverance and fortitude for getting through that race are quite extraordinary. Congratulations to Dan East, who wins again. With a fantastic fastest lap of 2:25.4. That's absolutely stunning in those conditions, mate. Johnny, on your 2nd, well done. Looks like the Renault's quite a decent car. We'll see how it is in the dry next week. Willie in 3rd with, oh, that's going to hurt. It's about 0.7 something, 0.07 something. Behind Johnny Max's fastest lap. King Racer in 4th. Well done, bud. Great effort tonight. I think you handled that Genesis really well. Murcielago, who was driving like his life depended on it in the Corvette. Well done. Shearluck in the Supra in 6th. Kobayashi Maru in the F-Type in 7th. And Splatter in the McLaren in 8th. Excellent stuff. Well done. That was that was extraordinary. As I say, I can't applaud you enough for actually finishing that. So, well done. The tables will be out in due course. Next week, on the 23rd of November, we're at the Nürburgring GP layout. Thank Christ, not the Nordschleife. And same again, but it's nice and dry. There's some sort of cloudy stuff going on, but that should be okay. And 15 times dilation, so we may get some day-night stuff. So that's fantastic. Well done, everyone, tonight. Well done, Dan, on yet another win. I'd just like to tell everyone who's listening to the stream that we are holding some special events over the Christmas period. There is a VGT event. We are having a rally event. We are having a British Touring Car DTM, whatever that is, event, which is basically the Sierra Cosworth versus the M3 or Mercedes. And we are having, which I can't wait to drive it, to be fair. We're having a 3-hour endurance Group 3 race with dynamic weather, and it's in teams, so there is in fact a driver swap. So I'm yet to fully understand how that's going to work, but look us up on our Discord channel, look us up on Facebook, look us up on what did I say, Discord? Yeah, look us up on Facebook, look us up on Discord, and if that sounds like the sort of thing you want to get involved in, please do join us. Register with the league, and it's a very painless experience, to be fair, and Justin looks after you really well once you're in, so please do give us a look. And if tonight's racing has inspired you, if you want to join a league which is built on clean, fair racing, hard racing but clean and fair, please do give us a shout. In the meantime, I wish you good night, and I'm not quite sure what the Japanese is for good evening, so I'll just say konnichiwa!